pay attention to the bullshit they were doing. $3.32 a share. So you can buy 3 shares of Facebook or Meta. By the way, they want you to spend more time on your phone and live in a virtual world where nothing is real. I strongly encourage you guys to go out and
Here we go. 700, 700.
Do something real, man. Take your kids out for a walk. Get off these stupid hats. Go touch something real. Okay? Bitcoin, no cash flow. EXP, a little bit of cash flow to stop. You don't know. If you don't know the stock, you shouldn't invest in the stock. Because you can't. Facebook, 3.2 shares. Let's see what's an Apple cost me. Apple, $148 a share. Let's see, $1,000 divided by 148 equals 6 shares of Apple computer. Pays no dividend. Maybe it does. Maybe it pays a tiny dividend. Let's see what the dividend on this little beast is. And if you're on the come up, folks, the first thing you want to improve is what? Your income. Oh, yeah, it pays 0.88. This is an Apple. It pays 0.88%. That's less than 1% for a dividend. Or you can do this. You can take advantage of this money supply. Big, tremendous amounts of money. And if you look at the money supply, this is what you got. This is money supply. And this is money velocity. Okay? Money velocity is very, very important. Okay? I produce a bunch of money. Money supply basically means I take $100, spend $100. I give it to Johnny, buy something. Johnny goes to buy something for $100. Buy something for Nathan for $100. Nathan takes it, buys something from Sherry. The velocity at which money moves is what actually determines inflation. Money velocity is the lowest rate in the history of the United States of America. We're sitting on money. When you're sitting on trillions of dollars of cash and equity, and the Treasury Department is doing the same thing. You can't have inflation. Inflation is driven by money supply going up and money velocity going up. And this is going to happen at some point. Somebody's going to unleash this money. This money's going to start being spent. What's happening right now is debt is so cheap that people are not using their cash and they're borrowing money rather than using the debt. Okay. Now, what does all that mean? Show them this building right here, Johnny. This is a 456-unit building in the best location in the United States of America. I just bought a great deal in Houston, Texas. The location's sick. This location
50.
is sick on steroids. Okay. It's got the only mid-rise building in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. The location score is at least extreme AAA. The amenities AAA. Location AAA. Okay. 99% occupied, and we think it does 4 to 6% in year one. Okay, my goal is to get it to do 6%. 6% better than 4%, clearly. And my goal is to get there. I think I can get there. With $1,000, you can now invest in a piece of real estate. That will buy about $4,000. Every $1,000 buys $4,000 of real estate. That's called leverage. So you'll immediately start building net worth. Okay, you build net worth because you take garbage pieces of paper. You go to CardoneCapital.com. You go to the website. Let me show them, Johnny. They can see this. Watch how easy this is for you guys. 98% of all people are non-accredited. That's why I opened this. Cardone Capital, if you spell it right. Cardone Capital. 98% of all people are non-accredited. They don't get a chance to buy wealthy assets, great assets. So you guys are stuck buying gambling at Robinhood. Okay, and you need to quit gambling. I was in a casino the other night. I beat them. But most people don't beat them. Most people lose. How easy does a casino make it for you to bet $5? Easy. How easy does Wall Street make it for you to put $5, $10, IRA accounts, 401ks? This weekend, we were bombed with thousands of people moving their IRA and 401ks over to Cardone Capital. All we did was this. They went to CardoneCapital.com. Show them this right. No banks, no brokers, no money. Grant Cardone makes institutional real estate investments available for the everyday investor. I've been wanting to do this now for years. The lawyers told me not to do it. Everybody told me, don't do it. There's a AAA location, AAA amenities, 92 walk score. Within a block and a half, there's 30 restaurants. 97%, I thought we were 99. 97% occupied water frontage, and we're in Fort Lauderdale. You're ready to invest. You fill in your name. You can start with as little as $1,000. Okay, $10,000 gets you about a $40,000 position because of the leverage. You can invest as much as $100 grand. Watch this. This is where it gets fun. $100 grand, even for a non-accredited investor, $100 grand. Oops, will pay you about $6,000 a year, $4,000 to $6,000 a year. You get a check every quarter. Okay, every 3 months we send a check out. If you're accredited and you're doing nothing, we send a check every month. So for the non-accredited now, for the first time, I can the non-accredited investor can now invest as little as $1,000. That $100,000 buys about a $400,000 position. So worst case is we go 30 years.
That's 100 total. I got 600 more to go.
Your 100 grand you put in for 400. And every year, as long as you cash flow, it's sent you and your family a check every quarter. Real estate is the greatest asset class in my estimation. It provides security, protects your capital. When it inflates, when inflation hits, remember this money supply thing I showed you earlier? Money supply is going like this. Velocity of money is going down to zero. Money's not moving. We have no movement in money. When this money gets back in circulation, we have inflation. We don't have inflation yet. You guys think we have inflation. You're wrong. I know you think I'm wrong, but I'm telling you wrong. I don't care what the headline says. You do not have inflation yet. Oh my God, yes, housing went up in our city. Yeah, but you understand. This went up 40%, and your housing only went up 20%. You do not have inflation yet. Inflation will exceed this number. Hyperinflation will exceed the money supply. Money will become useless. You'll be like dumping it out in the street. You'll be like, I don't want this. Here, I'm going to Home Depot. I'm going to eat champagne. I'm going to drink. I'm going to buy cigarettes and I don't smoke. I'm going to buy anything and everything to get rid of cash because it's trash. It's not yet trash because people are storing it. $7 to $10 trillion is sitting in equity in homes. Ridiculous waste of money. So this is where you guys can get started right now. Look at the equity you have in your house. I had a lady hit me this weekend. She's like, I have $350,000 sitting in my home. Dead equity. She said, if I put that in Cardone Capital, what do you think I'd earn? I said, well, if it only hits the 4%, you'll be paid $14,000 a year. How much is your home payment? Nothing. Good. You borrow that. By the way, if you borrow that money, 2%, and earn 14. So she earned another $1,000 a month, less her costs. Okay, but watch what it really does. It buys $1,400,000 worth of real estate. See, that's the leverage I talk about that we do in a deal. So I'm buying this deal right now. I'm buying this deal. It's $260 million. That is a big deal. $250 million. When I sell this piece of real estate, I think I'm going to sell it. You guys have to keep this video. Keep this tape, mark it, date it today. I think I sell this asset in under 7 years, 7 to 10 years, somewhere in the 7 to 10 year mark for $500 million. I only put $80 million down. Not only put. I'm financing 180 million. I think it's about approximately the number.
600 more to go.
Here we go. And I put $80 million down. So the $80 million will actually turn into, if I'm right, $240 million. That's 3x return on my money. You're like 3x isn't that great? This isn't, I'm not trying to make 100x on my money. I'm trying to protect my capital against inflation. Okay. Number two, I want cash flow. This $80 million will collect cash flow every year. I believe this cash flow in this deal will be about $4.8 million in the first year, and his rents go up. I mean, paid $4.5 million, $5 million a year. So I'll show a picture of the property. I mean, paid to wait for that thing to go up. That is by the way, a river that comes from the Atlantic Ocean. Do you have the kayaks? You have the picture of the kayaks? I grab a kayak. You can rent a kayak at my place. You can come off your balcony right there, go downstairs, grab a kayak, and be in the Atlantic Ocean in 12 minutes. Working the best workout. I'm not trying to convince you guys to go down here. I'm trying to convince you guys to Johnny. I'm trying to convince you guys to go to Cardone Capital, fill in the damn pool, man, and become an investor, partner with Grant Cardone, because I'm gonna build one of the biggest real estate portfolios in America, and I'm gonna do it with you. Rather than going to the big banks and the big, wealthy families in America and say, hey, give me this 80 million, because I can go to one or two families in America and get the money from them. I can go to 80 of my millionaire friends and say, hey, give me $1 million each. Or I can go to 4 guys and say, give me 20 million each. I know those guys. What I did is I opened this up to the everyday family. Nieces, nephews, brothers, sisters. Johnny could buy family members. Johnny could buy $1,000 for his mom and $1,000 for his sister, rather than buying her a purse. And say, hey, it's a great Christmas gift. Hey, what I get? You got the gift that keeps on giving. Okay. And by the way, for $1,000, watch what you can do. $1,000 gets his mother a $4,000 investment because of the leverage in the deal. Remember what I did? I put $80 million down. Let me just see what that number is actually. 260. I'm going to correct this here in a second. 125. We put 25% down. I put $65 million down.
It's 50.
So $65 million bought me $260 million.
150.
Johnny's $1,000 and $2,000. What's your sister worth, Johnny? $5,000. So Johnny gave his sister a $5K investment. That would buy her a $20,000 investment. It's going to show $5,000 when you sign up. When you put in the forms, I put $5,000 in because it's telling you what your investment is. And it's telling you that's the way we got a loan from the bank. That's all leverage, right? I put $65 million down. I own this. Now I'm talking big numbers here, but really it all comes down to $1,000. What are you going to do with $1,000, folks? You're sitting with money at your house. You can go buy an ETF. Let's see what the richest company in the world is selling. Let's see what garbage they're selling today. Vanguard and Blackstone are the two wealthiest companies.
See what garbage they're
The
selling.
wealthiest ones. Both these companies will be worth $20 trillion each before the end of this decade. So you can go buy some bullshit ETF piece of paper. Let's see. Look, they sell it all. Look at this list of garbage they sell. Look at this. You want to know why they're worth 20 trillion? This list will keep going. Here's a dividend appreciation ETF, ESG US stock ETF, growth ETF. Okay, let's see what this. These people show these are the numbers. Market price $314. So $1,000 divided by $314. You can buy 3 shares of that. Got to get started somewhere. By the way, 3 shares of that garbage is better than $300 of this garbage. The dividend yield. For you guys are like, you only pay 4% on this institutional trophy quality best location asset. They're paying 0.44%. I'm paying 10 times that, with the expectation for it to be 6%. Who knows? If rents keep going up, maybe they're 8%, which will be 20 times what these guys are paying. A lot of brokers, a lot of middlemen right here, a lot of people grabbing money on the way in, a lot of people taking little fees, a lot of guys driving limos to work in New York City. They own those buildings, folks. How do you think they bought it? You walk into a casino, what do you say? Remember, son, they built this casino with gamblers. How do you think they built those buildings over at Vanguard and Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and Blackstone? They built it on your back, folks. So I want to give you guys, each of you, a chance this week. This thing's going to sell fast. Okay, show the building again. This is the best building I've ever bought in my entire career. 456 units. It is 97% occupied right now. It is cash flowing positive right now. I close on it December 10th. If you're going to get your money in, but Cardone Capital, there it is. There's the old kayak shop. So you want to be a renter, be a renter. You want to be an investor, be an investor. You want to do both. Either way, you become my partner. You can literally become my partner in 4 minutes. I spent 30 years getting a credibility.
200.
About that asset.
Okay, 500 more to go.
It took me 30 years. It can take you 3 minutes and you can be an investor. Go to CardoneCapital.com, CardoneCapital.com. I know our phones are loaded. Oh, so the only way to create wealth is to start investing. You don't start investing, you will not create wealth. It's impossible. Warren Buffett says if you can't make money when you sleep, you will spend the rest of your life worried about working. You gotta work, man. You gotta work. But you know what? Most importantly, you gotta learn how to invest your money. $1,000 in the beginning, 5,000 later, maybe broke. 10,000 one day, maybe 100 grand. Maybe Johnny throws in 5,000 for his sister right now. Just needs to go. Okay, let's talk about health. I didn't even announce the number today. 305-407-276 is not the number. That's how you text me the investment. Okay, go ahead. What's up, John? I mean, Joel. That's what I said. Joel, what's up, Joel? You got a deal or you got a question?
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
200, 500 more to go.
Did
Did it to myself. I've got no excuses. I did it to myself.
Be a plenary partner. Would love to get involved actually about 25K available right now. So.
Well, the simple thing to do, Joel, is to go to CardoneCapital.com. I'm hearing you, John. Go to CardoneCapital.com. Just fill out the form, man. Wiring your 25 grand. We're partners.
Okay, so before the one, you said something about finding a property up here in Madison, Wisconsin, or this area.
Yeah.
Can you be partnered up with me like a sweat equity worker, or?
Yeah, no, you'd be the sweat equity, but you need
Right,
to, you need to go find a monster up there and probably get put 3 together. Now, I don't know that I want to come to Madison because you don't really have a positive migration in Madison, Wisconsin that I have in Florida. You want to invest in markets. Just because you live somewhere doesn't mean you want to invest there, right?
The cap rate, I thought it was a pretty good property, so.
Yeah, how big was it?
16 units.
Yeah, I'm not buying 16 units.
Well, I kind of figured you were, but
Yeah.
I'm just starting running from
But the way to get started, man, is just to get started. You guys keep trying to find a deal. The thing you ought to do first is invest in the deal so you see how it works. So I would
right. So we're just getting with you down there because that's
We need 3 minutes.
like what am I looking at as far as the 25K in? What am I looking at that?
25,000 is going to pay you about $1,500 a year, but 25,000 about $75,000 to $100,000 position. Show the picture again. In a piece of real estate you can't buy. Okay?
Right.
It's for your immediate partner. And for all of you out there that are investing in real estate and want to invest in real estate, when you become an investor with me, you immediately have me on your bio. You're an immediate partner with Grant Cardone. I want you guys to understand, you're not a partner of Blackstone. You're an investor of Blackstone. With me, you're a partner. With yeah, beautiful, brother. I look forward to seeing you register today, okay? And this is probably going to close out, folks, in 15 or 30 days. Before Christmas, this is over. So don't miss this. I can't go buy another one of these like this. Like there's endless supplies of money. You can't just keep building those.
It's
They can't
50,
put
so
another building.
it's 250 total right
This
there.
is arguably the single best location asset I've ever purchased in my career. Best quality asset I've ever bought in my career. And I can tell you, you can hear me the way I'm talking about. We're going to brand this 10x living, 10x Los Olas. We own some other property in that market, so we can reduce our cost of operations. Good for the investor, good for you partners, and it also boosts the returns because we can reduce our marketing costs and send more people to the building. All right, next call.
We got JD from New Jersey.
JP, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good.
Come on, man, come on. Let's go.
Yeah, I got 17 money on me right now. I was looking at anything I got there. You said, come with $1,000 and you can invest with me. So I was just asking, like, can I invest with you? Like, is it safe?
Yeah, 1,000. What you want to do is invest the whole 1,700. Don't even worry about the 1,000. Just change the amount. It's going to say how much you want to put in. Just put 1,700 in. You're broke either way. When you guys get down to like $5,000, put it all in. I'm not being reckless when I say that. You're already broke. Yeah, make it official, man. When you're sitting on your last, let me just see what $1,700 is like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know somebody's going to do a video on me saying, Grant Cardone, they're going to clip this part out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you're down to your last, the smartest thing you can do with this money. And this is just a guy that's started with nothing, folks, and put a couple $1 billion on the board. Okay, so what do I know? If I went down to my last $1,700, I'm telling you guys what I would do right now is I would find somebody that you can trust, somebody like me that you can trust that has bought this unbelievable piece of real estate. You cannot go replace this piece of real estate. Okay? You can't go put a building on top of it. That pool right there, that deck, that's the largest open deck in Fort Lauderdale. Irreplaceable asset, AAA location, AAA amenities, 97% occupied, going to 100. I would take the entire $1,700 you have right now, and I would put all of it in that deal. And then what I do is I put it in that deal. Don't worry about it. Let me handle it. Trust your partner, and you put your full attention. This is the same thing for the gentleman.
Another 50, that gives me 300, we got 400 more to go.
1,700. Put that in the deal too.
Okay, I got a deal for you. I was looking at yesterday. I got something.
Okay, which one?
It's a 376 million apartment building. The address is 2909 Camp Delta Road.
2909. Wait, 2909.
Camp Delta.
Camp. Did you say Camp Belton?
Yep.
Atlanta?
Yeah, Atlanta.
Yeah, no, you live in New Jersey and you're looking at Atlanta. Why is that?
You can rent up there right now.
Yeah, okay. So this is the property right here. I'm looking at right now. How much they want for this?
No, I got a deal for you. If you're interested, I'm just looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to talk to you.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that, man. You guys send me deals. We do a club, by the way, grantcardone.com/club. Entry in that club is $25,000. And that is for professional real estate investors or those people that want to learn how to be professional real estate investors. Also, that club goes a long way for you and the IRS to say you're doing your educational process and become a professional real estate investor. It's grantcardone.com/club, grantcardone.com/club. It's $25,000. You don't get any real estate with it, but you do get an education outside real estate. So we would help. What happens is people look at deals there, fund deals, get the debt on deals, and underwrite the deals. So we as a group of about 150 people work together each Wednesday, 3 times a year. We've got something coming up. What's that website? Is that grantcardone.com/club or something? Yeah, if you go to grantcardone.com/club, but the way about the summit, I think you can get a summit fee for $1,000, right? Let me just check your account/summit. So any of you that want to start learning real estate, grantcardone.com/summit. I tell you what I'll do actually. Anybody that invests $5,000 today because of this show, I'll give you a seat for the summit. You can either come in person or you can come virtual. Anybody that invests at least $5,000 before the day's over because of this show, just post in comments. I invested, CardoneCapital.com. I'll give you a seat for free to the conference. So I don't know how many of those I can do, but I'll give as many ways as I can. And you can either come virtual and just sign up and not travel down here, or you can come down to Miami and do it this December 13th, 14th, 15th. Anybody that invests at least $5,000, I'll give you a seat. Anybody that invests $20,000, pull up the helicopter, John. Anybody that invests at least $20,000 today because of the show, CardoneCapital.com, CardoneCapital.com, CardoneCapital.com. This is for non-accredited investors. This is crazy, man. Okay, CardoneCapital.com. Anybody that's $20,000, I'll give you a ride on the helicopter and a seat. The heli plus a seat. I'm writing this down because I got to tell my staff that I promise. Because there'll be some people out there trying to scam us. It does happen. It's crazy, man. It happens. Nobody needs to scam me. I was off more than anybody would ever do. So when you make your investment in Apple stock or leave your money at the bank, do they do any of this stuff for you guys? Make it America. Company Hong Kong. Hang on a little bit. Can't that hard. There it is. There it is. Okay. I want the video, man. Okay, so what are you going to do with $1,000, folks? What you could do is you could invest in Cardone Capital today. You could also leave it in a checking account, a savings account. It's earning no money. You could buy stock with it, cross your fingers, and hope the stock market goes up. Maybe it will. Look, there's so much cash in it, probably will. You can buy 0.00016 pieces of Bitcoin or Ethereum. Let's see, Ethereum's probably $3,200 today, $1,000, divide by 3,200. You can buy a third of one Ethereum. I know what you guys are to do. You need to invest your money without losing it. So when I talk about investing money, this is what I talk about. Okay, number one, never lose money. How can you guarantee you never lose money? Invest your money in an asset that cannot be destroyed, can't be burnt down, can't be replaced easily. Okay, that's why I like these big buildings. I like big buildings. I cannot lie. It's got 456 residents who are proud to live in a 10x property. Okay, number two, cash flow. When you're living
more to
you're not
go.
rich. You should be investing in things where you never lose your money and you get cash flow. That is not a blackjack table. Okay, that is not a roulette wheel. Black or red, black or red, black or red, black or red. It's fun, but it doesn't cash flow, and you could lose. Okay, third thing, you want something that can appreciate without inflation. I want something that will go up without the effect of inflation, and I want something, number four, that can protect me and my family when and if we get inflation. Because if rents is double, check this out. Okay, I want you guys to do the math. This is about this deal at CardoneCapital.com. 456 units and $2,300. 456 times 2,300 times 12. Okay, that is 456 times 2,300 times 12. 12 months. That is 12,508,556. I think that's something like that. Is that right? Yeah. That property will do 456 times 2,300 times 12. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's say we go to the year 2020. What was the date? 6. 5 years from now. Okay. Can somebody let me talk to caller? Let me talk to caller and see what he thinks or she thinks those rents will be. I have a feeling it was a lady. Hey, Valerie.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, good. So Valerie, just give me your number. Right now, the rents of that building that I'm showing on the screen here, the rents are about $2,300, $2,400 a month. What do you think that those rents would be in the year 5 years from now, the year 2026? You guys are watching this on YouTube, okay? Please post below. What do you think they'll be in 2026? And then I want you to write down, what are they gonna be in 2031?
300 push-ups more to go.
I'm gonna,
Yeah, Val, what do you think?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it's gonna be at least $1,000 more,
Okay, so 3,300, and then what do you think they're gonna be 5 years after that?
probably another 13 or 1,500.
Okay, so that would be 4,800. And I think you're right on. Let's say we keep this property 10 years and the rents are 4,800 bucks. I'm just gonna use these numbers. Nobody knows any of this, right? Times 456 times 12. This property would be $26 million a year. The rent income double. If the rent income double, what happens to the price?
It might go up.
At least that much. That's why I told you guys, I'm buying a building for 260, I'll sell it for 520. $500 million. One building. $500 million. Okay, Val, you got a question.
I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, so my mother passed away and I inherited a very nice home and a farm. And then an accident happened to my husband and he got about $300,000. So we have that, plus about another 50 sitting in the bank, and 40 in the home and farm, with paid for. I got money sitting in the bank, and money sitting in the bank. I have a very small amount of investment. Tell me what I need to do.
Okay, so what is the home and the farm worth?
At least $1.5 million.
1.5 million. Okay, is most of that the farm or is that the home?
Probably mostly farm, but the home's very nice.
Okay, good. So look, you're an accredited investor because your net worth is figured based on your assets less your home. So we're going to just assume here that your home's worth 400, 500 grand. That makes the farm worth $1 million. So you guys are figuring your net worth. Net worth does not include the equity in your home. So I'm going to kick her home out. She's an accredited investor. What I would do if I were you is I would take the $350,000. I would immediately invest that money on this deal that I'm in. That $350,000 will buy a $1.2 million position in this real estate. That immediately replaces your assets of your farm and your house. Okay. So I'm breaking it down like this. Okay. I'm saying that the farm's worth $1 million. The house is worth 500 grand.
300 more to
Okay,
go.
she's got cash of 300,000, 350,000. You have any other money, like a retirement account?
Oh, yes, my husband has retirement. But obviously, I'm not working. I have a small business, but I'm really not working, so my husband has an income, but he has a really good retirement for a husband.
Okay, so that money now is yours to self-direct. So do you know what's in a retirement account?
I'd say that he retires in about 7 years and have all over $1 million.
Okay, so I would definitely look at, we could actually move that money from because how old are you?
I'll be 55 this month.
Yeah, so you're in that same age group as I am. So I'm 63 years old. So I'm starting to use my retirement account to go grab some of that money at the lowest tax basis. I'd love to get a call with you to kind of just walk through what I would do with this money. Sorry about your loss, by the way.
I had to sort it out. I was going to say, you just get treasurer, and I would love to talk to you more than you know. You just tell me how to do that, and we'll do it.
Okay, I'll call you back after the show today. Now, the farm, what do you want to do with the farm?
Well, to be honest, we live there, and it's my memories of my mother, my family loves it. It's out included.
Yeah.
I really don't think we sell it.
Yeah, does it provide any income?
We lease it tonight, and we lease the hay. We do not a lot, but we get time to for people behind.
Okay, so what I would do with the house, I personally, if I were you, I would borrow 500 grand against the farm, not the house. That 500 grand will cost you about, tax deduction too, by the way, commercial loan, cost you $10,000 a year. It would produce 500 grand, it would produce $30,000 a year in income. It would buy $2 million worth of real estate. This is what I would do if I were. I take all the cash invested in that deal on that. That's $21,000. This is income for her. This is going to be $30,000 in income. She would make $51,000 on this transaction, less than $10,000. I would take that off, except it's tax deductible, so I'm not going to take it off. She would have income of $4,250 a month coming in, and she would take her farm, that's 500 grand she took out, plus her cash 350, and she immediately put it on steroids, and that's worth $3.2 million. And we just increased her net worth faster than her husband created net worth over his period. Not saying anything negative. I'm just saying, like, guys, you're not leveraged. You don't have any leverage. So give her a number. I'll call her, okay, when this call's over. She's definitely accredited, folks. Most people don't have this kind of money. Most people don't have these kind of problems. These are high-class problems to have. Problem is, many of you out there have high-class problems.
350.
There's no high-class vehicles. And this is why I created Cardone County. Never before has an
Sorry.
institutional quality asset
450?
of the asset. No group has ever done this before. Without exaggeration. I'm offering the everyday person, accredited and non-accredited, make it happen. Never been done before. It's never been done before. Blackstone, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, nobody's ever done this before. I don't care what, we do something like Grant Cardone. Nobody has ever offered a trophy asset, AAA location, AAA amenities, institutional quality asset, cash flow positive from day one. Nobody's ever offered that to the everyday person. Typically, these deals are safe for big banks, big insurance companies, and the wealthiest families in America. And I'm making it available to you guys. $1,000 minimum, maximum 100 grand. That's for the non-accredited. If you're accredited, go to CardonCounty.com, click accredited. You start at 100 grand and go up from there. You go up to $5 million. So we will have people that took $5 million in this deal. My preference is that you guys have 8, 10,000, 6,000, 32,000 retirement account with 16 grand. Take that money, put it in this deal. I promise you, you will never ever regret it. If you do $5,000, I'm gonna give you a seat to our summit. It's coming up December 13th, 14th, to 15th. You can either come in person. That's a terrible idea. Or you could come virtual. I'll just get you a virtual seat. If you do 20 grand today or more, I'll give you a ride in the helicopter when you're down in Miami, and a seat to our summit. Yeah, that thing's a beast. Augusta 139, 2 engines, 2 pilots, safest helicopter in the world, 195 miles an hour, and you will lose your mind on the radio. Okay, every Monday I do the show. Every Monday. We got one more caller, and I'm just sharing with you guys today what you can do with $1,000. If you can't figure out what to do with $1,000 or $1,700, folks, what are you going to do when you get $1 million? This is just a variation of this number right here. If you don't start investing this now, you're like, oh, it's only $1,000. If you don't start with a grant, what are you going to do when you get to $1 million? By the way, if you don't start with a grant, it's going to take you forever to get to $1 million. If you just let your money sit in the banks, the only people that are benefiting, I'm with my friends that are in the marginalized communities, the middle class and lower middle class. You guys hate on the system, and you're the ones funding the system. You hate the banks. You hate the rich people. I don't blame you, by the way. The whole system's effed up in a total scam. And you guys keep funding the exact system that suppresses you and holds you there. And what I'm doing at Cardone Capital is I'm unwinding that deal. I have two institutions.
Another
come this
50,
weekend.
that makes
President of the
it
institution said, "Don't you-
500.
CardoneCapital.com. 24
I've got 200 more to go.
Cars is happening. With social media is happening. People standing up against the vaccine. There's disruptions going on everywhere. People saying enough is enough. And now I'm going to make sure this happens for the non-accredited everyday investors so you guys can buy. You can actually, for the first time in your career, your life, invest. Your kids, your mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers, your nephews, you can invest for them in institutional quality assets. This has never been done before. Let's talk about it. Andre, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, Grant, I've been following you for a while now. Just a couple quick questions, if I could ask you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bring it on.
If there's any interest, I know it's on the other 21 homes because I have a couple properties out here, but I don't think I have one more happening anywhere in the state.
Yeah, I'm with you.
In terms of distance, it's kind of a hard system to go out there, so I'm kind of looking at your card capital with the vehicles and talking the money that we need. So,
Yeah.
the other question, I know some of the properties you have built on the website, some of the goals of the properties, divide them, pick up a percentage of the tenancy and eventually split them, if I'm wrong, you correct me, but is there any way you can put a lot of these properties, or keep it for long?
Yeah. So this is a great question. This is a great question. Like he's talking about something that's a real problem for a lot of people. If you live in New York, Boston, New Jersey, Illinois, California, any of these states where you're a little worried about, man, I'd like to invest here, but I can't because I'm worried about one, the price I'm paying, and number two, I'm worried about whether I even own my own property anymore because I can't get the tenant out if they don't pay. It's a big problem in those places. So it's like, rather than me trying to find a deal here, I'm going to get on a plane and fly to Miami and try to start investing in Miami. But you're not going to do that. Okay? You're not going to just get on a magic carpet ride, get down here and buy an asset. You won't know where you're looking. You don't know the good locations. You don't know how to get the deal. You don't know how to buy the deal. You don't know the broker to call. You don't even know what to say. Like, if they don't know you, they're not going to float. If they don't know you, they're not going to get you the deal. So he's going to come from Cali all the way over here. He's like, what happens? What's the plan on this deal? So this particular deal is $260 million. Our goal is we're going to put a 5-year loan on this deal, pay it off in 5 years.
For another
okay?
50, that's
So we will
550.
put, I think $80 million down.
50 more to go to
Thereabouts.
get 600.
And we'll finance 180. Okay, my goal is to take this thing at 90, I think it's 96%. Let's see what it is right now. 97% occupied right now, okay? And my job is to get it there or higher. We've actually announced that we're there. People know I'm buying it. So we've already taken it from 91 to 96, and we haven't even closed on the deal. So my goal is to get this thing, if at all possible, man, perfect scenario, I get the rents closer to $2,800 a month. And I think I refinanced the property right here in 2026 with a value of $340. Okay, watch what happens now. How much money do you have right now? Okay, so let's say you gave me 200. My goal is to refinance this property for $255 million in 5 years. Now, if it's worth $340, I can get a loan for $255. What did I pay for it? $260. So you gave me $200 grand, I'm gonna send you like $180,000 of your money back, and you'll still have your position in that deal. Exact position that you had before I sent you the money back. So my goal for all the investors, including my money, because I don't have a lot of money in this deal, is to get as much money as I can back at the 5-year mark or sooner. That will be a non-taxable event, by the way. California can't tax you on that money either. So you'll have a non-taxable event, you'll get $180, maybe $200,000 of your original $200, plus you keep your cash flow that you got for the last 5 years, plus you keep your position in the asset, and get your money back, and hopefully you say, Grant, let's roll again. So that's my goal. That's our business plan. Unless somebody comes along and just says, hey, I'll pay you $340 next week, and I don't even know if I'd sell it. If I can make $80 million in 1 week, I don't even know if I'd sell that asset, to be honest. That's how big this thing is. Does that help you? Yeah. That's sort of investing money, folks. Okay. Money velocity. I talked a lot today about a lot of stuff. Hope you guys saw that graph. Money velocity. If you've never heard the term money velocity, and you're trying to talk about inflation, and you're talking about money supply, you're like, oh, we're printing so much money. If nobody's using it, man, it don't matter. Okay. I'm gonna show you this right now. I try to spend an hour a day studying stuff that I don't understand. Let me just see if I can find this. I'm studying this morning. Money supply. Here's my MHC 50 largest apartment owners. Why do you think I'm pulling that up? These are targets, man. I won't be on this list. I guarantee you. I'm gonna take you guys for a ride, baby. We all going to the moon. Okay. I can't get on that space bucket with Elon, but I can do this. Okay. So I was studying this morning. Money supply and velocity. Okay. Here's the M1 money supply. Hockey stick going freaking right through the roof. Right. It would be terrifying if you didn't know this next piece. Okay. Money velocity right here. Year over year change. Money supply, velocity, and inflation. Let me make this a little bigger for you. A little bigger. See the money velocity? It's falling.
50 more, that puts me at 600. I've got 100 more to go to hit 700.
This is you contributing to this. You got an upside down hockey stick. We printed money and people actually didn't use it. Okay, what are they doing? They're saving it in the bank. They got equity in their homes. Okay, maybe they're paying off their stuff. Okay, when you pay stuff off, that is not money in circulation. Money in circulation is I'm gonna go buy some stuff. I'm gonna buy some more stuff. And the other thing you got a problem with right now is you can't get the shelves. You can't get stuff stocked. Right, you have a supply problem. If I have a supply problem, I can't spend money. So you can't have inflation if you don't have money velocity. If a bunch of people start saving money at their house, hoarding money, what's he got? Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar never spent any of his money. And that's why he didn't have inflation down there. Okay, because Pablo wasn't spending his stuff. What was he doing? He's putting it in the ground. He couldn't spend it. So as long as money is not used, you got a problem. And this is why you're seeing interest rates. Watch this. Interest rates. Almost zero. Savings rates. Way up here. Even though it's zero. Like these people are dumb. These people haven't caught up. I think maybe the banks are like, these people are stupid, so we'll just keep taking their deposits. So you guys keep depositing money in an account when what you should be doing is getting out of the banking system and getting it into real assets. And if you know somebody at Apple or Facebook or Meta or whatever they're calling themselves, you got a buddy over at Amazon or maybe that's a startup company, you know they're going to go, I'm good, freaking load up in that deal. You know for sure they're going to make money load up in that deal. If not, then get invested in real estate. You don't want to do it with me, start learning how to do it yourself. I'll help you learn. Let me just give everybody something to listen to today. If you want me this long, I'm going to give you a free 3-hour webinar. Free, completely free. GrantCardone.com/REI. I should just do this for the investors. But I'm going to do it for everybody. grantcardone.com/REI. Grantcardone.com/REI. It's a 3-hour training on how you can get started in your backyard. But understand that you don't have to start with 1 unit. Because the problem with 1 unit is when Alan moves out, because he's pissed off about your bed bugs, then you got to go clean up, by the way, and he leaves, you're vacant. And now you got a job and you got a problem. Your job is your job that you go to every day. You're a nurse. And you're being a good nurse or teacher or principal or doctor or dentist, chiropractor. And now you got this bullshit thing. Alan, God damn it, Alan. Now you got the mortgage, you got the property taxes, you got the roof, you got the cabinets, you got the kitchens, you got the problems. The alternative is, show my deal.
It's 50.
Our deal.
650.
Okay, you can invest with me in this piece. Your first deal could take you 3 minutes. It took me 30 years to do this. Your first deal could take 3 minutes in cash flow. You'll be a real estate investor. You'll be my partner on this deal. Don't take that lightly. For something like that. Partner, Grant Cardone, Cardone Capital. You start increasing your net worth. By the way, your net worth is ultimately what you control your credit score and your credit. Nobody takes my credit score. You know, man, that's a guy that owns 12,000 units. And you start like fighting against inflation, okay? Not even the Fed is using money. The Fed's not even using money, man. You guys understand this? Until they start building highways and hospitals again and schools in this country, until they start building plants again, probably never gonna happen. Why? Because we got it in China, man. If you don't build stuff, you don't inflate stuff. If you do inflate that $1.7 trillion that Biden is gonna invest, if they actually invest it in highways and bridges and don't just waste it on their bullshit programs, I think they're gonna give $450,000 to immigrants that are suing for coming across the border and got separated from their kids. If they don't just give the money away, maybe we'll have inflation one day. But man, the money's got to make it to the streets. And if you guys live in your local neighborhood, man, how's your airport doing? How's your hospitals doing? Huh? Oh, I hear about hospitals. They can't take care of it. How's the roads in your town doing? How's the schooling system in your town doing? We fund $1 trillion a year to schools in this country, and I haven't seen any nice schools in a long time. Instead, they're worried about mask mandates and vaccine mandates for 5-year-olds. It's crazy. Now, if somebody gets a shit together and their head out of their ass, and the Republicans and the Democrats quit arguing about everything, and somebody gets in office, tell you guys we'll see. That's what I call capital, so I can talk to the president. I'm gonna get millions of people to invest in it. Millions of people to invest in it. What's a million times 1,000?
680, 90.
But it's not the money I want you to vote. Because if you're a partner with me and I pay you every quarter and you make money on your money, when you go to that voting booth, you go vote for me. That's my plan. That's my program. No president has ever run on that. I paid you. I never cheated you. I took care of you and your family and your money. I showed you how to grow wealth by being a partner with me. You want to vote for me even if you don't agree with my main position. Right, Johnny? Okay. John, you like it?
700 push-ups for mental toughness. Here we go.
$9 million. To pay me $1,000 to invest in it.